a Sunday, the 30th of October. Good afternoon to you and many thanks for joining us on this edition of The Weekend at 1. My name is Michelle Ngele. Our sign language interpreter is Lensa Owino. Let's begin with the highlights. Attorney General Githu Muigai blames delay in executing graft cases to lack of coordination of the agencies concerned. One more person is critically injured in the latest raid in the Kerio Valley. Plus, Robert Kipkemboi and Jane Jelagat scoop the top positions in Nairobi's Stanchart Marathon. We begin on a sporting note. Robert Kipkemboi has won the Standard Chartered Nairobi Men's Marathon. Jane Jelagat Saurat takes the crown for the women's category. Here now is our sports reporter Robinson Okenye with more details.
As he comes to finish the second place of the 2016 That's 103 Canadian interposition. Alright, let's give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, talk about now.
Nilikuwa kwa second base, nika relax until 37, tukachomoka, nikafuata mwenzangu mpaka 30, nikawache, nikatoka, nikaenda.
Hiyo imekuwa ngumu sana, lakini nimefurahi kwa kushinda. Tulikimbia mpaka kilomita 30, ndio nikaanza kuchunga sana ili nipate nafasi nzuri.
In other news, Attorney General Githu Muigai is attributing the slow pace of execution of corruption cases to a lack of coordination between the government agencies entrusted with handling those cases. The Attorney General concedes that more needs to be done in the fight against graft. He spoke to my colleague Sophia Wanuna, whose extensive interview will be featured in our 9 p.m. news tonight on Checkpoint. Here now is an excerpt of that interview.
The president was concerned with and continues to be concerned with is how soon do we resolve cases. I do not think that the president is suggesting that there must be a conviction in every case. Actually, he's made that very clear many times. It is not for us in the executive to say what will happen in an individual case. If a governor is arrested somewhere in a county, presented before court on the basis that he has committed an offense, we want that case expeditiously determined. Okay. It doesn't mean we want him jailed or whatever. We want it expeditiously determined.
All right, and you are the chairman of the multi-agency task force on corruption and economic crimes. And when the president spoke at this accountability summit, he expressed his frustration with the independent organs, but also that he's gone above and beyond to set up this task force, but which does not appear to be making much headway. As a chairman, what is the hold-up in as far as ensuring all of these organs are talking to each other, working together for Kenyans to be able to see results in as far as the war on graft is concerned?
You must acknowledge that I'm a new chairman. I was not the original chairman. I'm a new chairman post the conference. And as soon as I became chairman, I have held 2 high-level meetings with all the heads of these agencies, and we've been trying to agree on a program of action. But even more important, a protocol of cooperation, because this is the weakest link. The lack of a protocol of cooperation between agencies that should be working with each other. Let me give you a quick example. If money is being removed from a government ministry or department, or that money is going through the banking system. Now, we have the Financial Reporting Center. It captures data daily on the movement of money in our banking system. The Financial Reporting Center, if it is not talking to CID, and it's not talking to EACC, and it's not talking to DPP, and it's not talking to asset recovery, we will always be a week late, a month late, a year late. Okay? And if you look at some of the monies that have been recovered in the context of the NYS issue, you will see that we could have done more.
Attorney General Githu Muigai there speaking on the government's fight against corruption. He spoke to our very own Sophia Wanuna. Be sure to catch the complete interview at 9 p.m. on Checkpoint tonight. Now, one person was critically injured and an unknown number of livestock stolen in the latest raid in Marakwet East. The raided are suspected to be from the Pokot community. A contingent of police officers has been deployed to restore peace in the troubled region. On Thursday, the Deputy President ordered the hiring of more police reservists to help bring peace in the region. The clashes there have so far claimed at least 20 lives. The clashes between communities from West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet have also ruined businesses and disrupted several socio-economic activities. He began his career as a junior radio presenter 17 years ago in Kenya. Now he is a prominent television producer in Tanzania. On Daring Abroad today, we feature Josh Murunga, who partnered with the prominent Tanzanian bongo musician, AY, and TV presenter Salama Jabir to form a production company.
Na saa zingine nikikaa naona miaka 16 Dar es Salaam, nikipiga hesabu naona kama nilikaa Dar es Salaam muda mrefu zaidi hata ya Nairobi.
As he drives through the streets, Josh Murunga tells me that Dar es Salaam is like his second home.
So this little unit here, we use it as an office.
As we enter the studios, his team is preparing to record a show, an entertainment show that is known as Ngaz kwa Ngaz.
This is a natural backdrop for this show. For this show. So like Salama is seated right now, I'll show you a complete show. So maskani, mtu anavokaa maskani in Kenya, huku wanaita kijiwe ama maskani, nimesikia ama area. Like on that day if you're not working, you go and sit maskani na washikaji, mnaongea, mnapiga story.
Then real work begins.
3, 2, 1, call it on Eric's cam, go.
The recording takes about 1 hour, after which I sit down with Josh for a one-on-one interview, and he begins by giving us a flashback of his beginning. First, between 1999 and the year 2000 as a radio presenter at Radio Citizen in Kenya.
Citizen Radio was experiencing problems with the then government. And so some of us, I mean, there was issues with salaries and stuff, so some of us could not get our salaries. And it was difficult for me to continue working at the station without a salary, because issues with rent and stuff like that.
Josh quit Radio Citizen and worked for Family Radio briefly before seeking greener pastures in Tanzania.
Before that, I made some contacts, and I was talking to the owner of Clouds FM directly, and he told me, you know what, come over and let's see what we can do, because I already like your voice over the phone.
In Tanzania, at his news station, he had to start a totally new journey.
They told me they like my voice a lot, but they were worried about my accent. My Kiswahili accent, or my Kikenya. So they gave me a night shift. They said a graveyard shift. So I used to work in the middle of the night because they said we cannot put you during the day.
At prime time.
Prime time. And remember when I was at Citizen, I was doing the morning show, by the way. Jambo Kenya.
Jambo Kenya.
Yeah.
Josh later moved on to another station, East Africa FM.
Yeah, I started on radio as a sports presenter and reporter. And then that show was graduated also to the TV show. They told me I was doing a good job on radio. So they took the show from radio onto TV. And so I started doing the sports show. It became very popular.
Josh says his energy, his creativity, his desire to grow never allows him to stay in one place for too long, especially when routine sets in. He decided that he had had enough of employment.
And I started consulting for NGOs as a producer for television shows.
Josh later formed a partnership with AY, a prominent Tanzanian bongo artist, and Salama Jabir, who had worked with Josh at East Africa FM and TV.
The three of us have different traits. Like I'm a TV producer and I also have qualities in presenting. Salama is a TV presenter, and when she went to the UK, she studied television and media. AY is a musician, but a very knowledgeable entrepreneur. And he has contacts, and he's traveled the world. So he, using his contacts, using his ability to be able to talk to people and network, was a huge plus for us, and also being very creative as a musician.
Nafikiri wewe mwenyewe pia unajua kwamba Wakenya ni aggressive. Kwa sababu ni watu ambao wanadare, sio watu waoga. Sisi ni wakarimu sana. Sisi ni watu wa kuchukua time, wa kusema hii naweza nikafanya kesho. Kwa hiyo tufanye kesho. Lakini Wakenya cha leo tufanye leo.
Naishi mbali kidogo. Karibu kaya.
Utakunishtua wanangu. Their first show was Mkasi, a show about prominent people talking about their soft side of life away from the normal TV sets.
Mkasi as a TV show was born, 2011, November. That's when the show went on air at East Africa TV.
We've gained a lot of experience, cha kwanza, which is very important, you know. Imetufanya tuwe karibu zaidi na ukiachana kwamba tunafanya kazi pamoja, sisi ni marafiki.
We used to work from Salama's house, we used to work from my house, we used to work from AY's house. The editor would come with the computer. By midnight, we want to sleep. The editor would carry the computer to their own house and finish the edit. And then the computer would come to my house. I would do the previews while the editor goes to do some other jobs because he's employed somewhere else. So that's how Mkasi really started. But now we are lucky. 5 years down the line, we have a premises where we can film other shows.
To provide television content in a foreign land is not easy. Now, this was Josh Murunga's tactic, to speak their language, to be like them. Like the adage goes, when you go to Rome, do what Romans do. And he's made it. He produces some of the most watched television programs in Tanzania. For Daring Abroad, I'm Alex Chamwada in